Welcome to the most anticipated, glamorous, and emotionally charged countdown of 2026, where we dive deep into the very DNA of global stardom. We are not just looking at the 7 men who conquered the music world, we are turning the spotlight onto the galaxies that birthed these stars. It is 2026, and while BTS stands as the mature, undisputed emperors of pop culture, a lingering mystery continues to captivate the hearts of millions. Among the 7 matriarchs, being the mothers who raised these legends. Who holds the crown for the most breathtaking, timeless beauty in the real world? This is not a mere beauty pageant. This is a documentary of grace, a chronicle of elegance, and a celebration of the silent strength that built an empire from the ground up. Have you ever looked at the sharp jawline of a visual god and wondered about its origin? Have you ever felt the warmth of a member's smile and questioned who taught them to love like that? From the bustling streets of Busan to the artistic corners of Daegu, we have analyzed the rare glimpses, the heartfelt anecdotes, and the stunning genetic legacies to bring you a ranking that is as controversial as it is touching. We are talking about women who have aged like fine wine, whose aura in 2026 commands as much respect as it does awe. Is it the mother who gave her son that piercing, cat-like gaze? Or is it the one who bequeathed the worldwide handsome confidence? Tonight, we peel back the layers of privacy to honor the queens. The atmosphere is electric, the nostalgia is heavy, and the visuals are undeniable. Who will take the top spot? Who possesses that indefinable glow that transcends cameras and makeup? Fasten your seatbelts and prepare your hearts for a roller coaster of emotions, because we are about to reveal the unseen beauty behind the biggest band in history. Are you ready to meet the source of the magic? Number 7. RM Mom, the architect of intellect, a timeless silhouette, the origin of dimples. We begin our journey at number 7, a placement that speaks not of lesser beauty, but of a beauty so commanding, so intellectual, and so profoundly dignified that it almost transcends the traditional metrics of glamour. Landing squarely in the realm of regal sophistication, we are talking about the woman who birthed the leader of the global movement, the matriarch behind RM. In 2026, standing comfortably in her golden years, RM's mother exemplifies the concept of scholarly elegance. Imagine walking into a high-end, minimalist art gallery in the quiet, upscale district of Hanam-dong. The air smells of expensive coffee and old paper, and there she stands, examining a painting with the same piercing, contemplative gaze that we have seen on her son 1,000 times. She is the grounding force, the root of the god of destruction's hidden grace. To understand her beauty in 2026, you have to look past the superficial and understand the sheer power of her presence. She possesses a beauty that feels architectural, structured, deliberate, and resilient. Fans who have caught glimpses of her over the last decade know exactly what we are talking about. It is in the smile. That famous deep-set dimple that captivates millions when Namjoon smiles. It is a direct copy-paste from this incredible woman. It is a genetic signature, a stamp of warmth that softens a face known for its sharpness. In 2026, her style has evolved into something akin to a modern creative director or a university professor emeritus. She favors clean lines, monochromatic palettes, and perhaps a pair of statement spectacles that frame eyes sparkling with a mix of sharp wit and immense pride. We cannot talk about her without discussing the Ilsan DNA. There is a specific, tall, and proportionate physiology that runs in the family. Even now, she carries herself with a posture that commands respect, a physical manifestation of the strength it took to raise a genius child who wanted to deviate from the academic path to become a rapper. Can you imagine the stress, the worry, and the sleepless nights she endured during the early 2010s? Those years are etched into her history, not as scars, but as lines of character that make her face infinitely more interesting than a smooth blank canvas. Her beauty is narrative. It tells the story of a mother who had to trust her son against all odds. In 2026, that trust has paid off in dividends of joy, and it shows on her face. There is a radiant calmness about her now, a mission-accomplished glow that softens her features. When she stands next to RM, you see the source of his presidential aura. It is not something he learned in a textbook, it is something he absorbed by watching her navigate the world. She doesn't need heavy makeup or flashy jewelry to make a statement. Her accessory of choice is her intellect and her maternal warmth. We often hear anecdotes about RM's childhood, about his inquisitiveness, his sensitivity to nature and art traits that were undoubtedly nurtured by her. This creates a halo of nurturing beauty around her. In an era where artificial enhancement is rampant, RM's mom stands out for aging with such grace that she makes growing older look like the ultimate aspiration. She represents the beauty of reality, of a life lived fully with feet planted on the ground while her son flies among the stars. It is the kind of beauty that makes you want to sit down with her, drink tea, and listen to her stories for hours. She is the quiet storm, the sturdy bridge, and the first critic. Her ranking at number 7 is a testament to the fact that beauty is diverse. It isn't just about doll-like features, but about the weight of one's soul shining through. In 2026, she is the ultimate cool mom, the one who understands the nuances of modern art and the complexities of fame, yet remains the safe harbor for the leader who carries the weight of the world. Her beauty is a lesson in dignity. It is the face of a woman who knows who she is and whose she is. When you look at her, you don't just see a pretty face, you see the blueprint of a legend. You see the patience, the resilience, and the quiet power that allowed RM to become RM. She is beautiful because she is the foundation, and without her, the skyscraper that is BTS would not stand. So, while she may not chase the spotlight, her luminosity is undeniable. A steady, warm burn that reminds us that behind every great man is a mother who believed, worried, and loved him into greatness. This is the beauty of wisdom, the allure of the matriarch, and it is absolutely breathtaking in its own right. Number 6. Suga Mom, the Daegu matriarch, the keeper of the gummy smile, a beauty of unfiltered honesty. Moving down to number 6, the atmosphere shifts dramatically from the scholarly halls of Ilsan to the fiery, spirited streets of Daegu, bringing us face to face with a woman whose beauty is as disarming as it is legendary, the mother of the genius producer Suga. In 2026, Min Yoongi is known as a global icon of cool, a man of few words but massive impact. Yet, when you look at his mother, the puzzle pieces of his duality snap instantly into place. She is the origin story of that devastatingly cute charm hidden beneath a rapper's swag. Why does she land at number 6? It is certainly not for a lack of visual appeal, but rather because her beauty operates on a frequency of adorable approachability that catches you off guard, distinct from the high-fashion sharpness of others on this list. Imagine the scene. It is a crisp autumn afternoon in 2026, and she is spotted leaving a high-end wellness center in Seoul, looking not like the mother of a billionaire superstar, but like that incredibly youthful, glowing auntie who knows all the best local food spots and isn't afraid to roast you lovingly over dinner. Her beauty is defined by one undeniable genetic miracle: the gummy smile. Yes, that exact heart-melting expression that turns the intimidating Aegis D into Lil Meow Meow is 100% her copyright. In 2026, her skin remains a topic of absolute envy, that famous Min family complexion, pale as moonlight, smooth as porcelain, and seemingly immune to the passage of time. How is it possible that a woman who raised 2 sons and managed a business looks so radiant? It's the Daegu DNA. There is a resilience in her features, a softness in her cheeks that defies the gravity of age, making her look decades younger than her birth certificate would claim. But let's dig deeper into the edutainment aspect of her allure. Her beauty is enhanced by her legendary personality. We know the stories, the savage remarks, the teasing, the way she once famously asked if her son was really a celebrity because she didn't see it at home. This wit, this sharp sense of humor, adds a sparkle to her eyes that no eyeliner could ever replicate. In 2026, that sparkle has evolved into a look of profound, quiet contentment. Think about the emotional arc she has traversed. From the early days of uncertainty, worrying about a son who chose music over stability, perhaps even opposing his path out of fear for his future, to now witnessing him stand at the pinnacle of the world. That journey is written on her face, not in wrinkles, but in a serene confidence. She walks with a bounce in her step, a swag that mirrors her son's, but hers is maternal, grounded, and incredibly warm. When she laughs, her eyes turn into crescents, the exact same crescents that have healed the hearts of armies worldwide, and in that moment, she is the most beautiful woman in the room because she radiates pure, unadulterated joy. We have to talk about her style in 2026. She has likely embraced a modern hanbok fusion or chic, comfortable luxury soft fabrics, pastel tones that complement her fair skin, and perhaps a stylish beret that hints at an artistic soul. She doesn't try to compete with the flashiness of the industry. She sits back, comfortable in her own skin, embodying the phrase, "love yourself," before it was even a hashtag. Her presence is a reminder that beauty isn't just about symmetry, it's about the vibe you project. She projects safety. She projects home. Looking at her, you understand where Suga gets his hidden softness, that deep well of empathy he pours into his lyrics. She is the paradox, the savage queen with the softest heart. Is there anything more captivating than a mother who keeps a superstar humble? In 2026, her influence is more visible than ever. Every time Suga navigates a press conference with that calm, collected demeanor or cracks a dry joke that sends the room into hysterics, we are seeing the reflection of this incredible woman. She represents the beauty of authenticity. In a world of filters and facades, Suga's mom is refreshingly real. She is the kind of beauty that doesn't demand your attention but earns it through warmth and wit. She is the grounding wire for the lightning bolt that is Suga. And let's be honest, seeing her side by side with her son in 2026, perhaps at a private family dinner caught by a respectful lens, is a visual feast 2 generations of Min power, sharing that same pale glow and that same knowing smirk. She proves that being a visual isn't just about jawlines. It's about the light that comes from a spirit that has weathered storms and come out smiling. Her rank at number 6 is a celebration of the cute factor that never ages, the porcelain skin that defies logic, and the savage love that raised a king. She is the unsung heroine of the rap line, the Daegu beauty who taught us that sometimes the most powerful thing you can do is smile with your whole face and tell the truth, no matter how blunt it is. This is a beauty that feels like a warm hug on a cold day, and in 2026, that is a commodity more precious than gold. Number 5. Jimin Mom? The epitome of grace, the Busan Belle, the guardian of the angelic aura. We glide elegantly into number 5, and suddenly the air becomes softer, sweeter, filled with an aura of undeniable tenderness. We have arrived at the source of the Jimin effect, the woman who sculpted the face of an angel Jimin's mother. If you have ever wondered where Park Jimin gets his ethereal, gender-defying beauty, his unparalleled manners, and that soft-spoken charisma that can charm birds out of trees, they look no further than this stunning matriarch from Busan. In 2026, she is the very definition of timeless femininity. She doesn't just walk, she floats. While her husband, Jimin's dad, is often the public face of the family with his cafe, the rare, precious glimpses and descriptions we have of Jimin's mom paint a portrait of a woman who is shy, incredibly kind, and devastatingly beautiful in a classic, understated way. Why does she command the number 5 spot? Because her beauty is the kind that stops you in your tracks not with a shout, but with a whisper. It is the soft power of visuals. In 2026, picture a woman who has aged with the delicacy of a flower. Her skin is likely radiant, boasting that famous mochi texture, firm, youthful, and glowing with health. The resemblance between her and her son is said to be uncanny, particularly in the eyes and the lips. Those full, pillowy lips that have become a trademark of Jimin's visuals? They are her legacy. That gaze that can shift from innocent to alluring in a nanosecond? It's a trait inherited directly from her. She embodies a nurturing glamour. It is said that in 2026, she prefers a style that is sophisticated and modest flowing silhouettes, soft cashmere, pearls, and a natural makeup look that enhances her gentle features rather than masking them. She is the visual representation of a warm embrace. But let's look at the edutainment value here. Her beauty is deeply tied to her role as the hidden gem. Unlike the more extroverted parents, she has maintained a veil of mystery, which only amplifies her allure. This privacy makes every sighting, every anecdote, feel like discovering a rare diamond. We know she is the one who fostered Jimin's sensitivity and his immense capacity for love. That emotional intelligence, that ability to comfort others, that is her spirit living through him. When you see Jimin comforting a crying member, you are seeing his mother's heart in action. In 2026, as Jimin continues to mesmerize the world with his art, his mother stands as the silent muse. Her beauty is resilient too. Raising a perfectionist like Jimin, supporting him through his rigorous training and his quest for artistic identity, required a strength that is hidden beneath her gentle exterior. That strength manifests in her face as a serene composure, a look of, "I knew he could do it." She represents the beauty of the supportive shadow, the one who shines light on others without needing to step into it herself. Yet, when the light does catch her, she is luminous. Her ranking here is a tribute to the boy next door's extraordinary origin. She is the classic Korean beauty, modest, fair, and possessing a gentle harmony of features that is incredibly pleasing to the eye. In 2026, amidst a world of loud trends, her classic elegance is a breath of fresh air. She reminds us of the power of gentleness. She is the reason Jimin is cutie, sexy, lovely. The sexy might be the stage persona, but the cutie and the lovely? That is 100% mom. Imagine her at a family gathering in 2026, laughing softly, her eyes disappearing into crescents just like her son's, radiating a warmth that fills the room. It is a beauty that heals. It is a beauty that feels like safety. To the fans, she is the mother of the fairy, and in the hierarchy of beauty, being the source of such ethereal magic earns her a solid, undeniable place in the top tier. She is the breathtaking evidence that true beauty comes from a heart of gold, reflected in a face that refuses to lose its softness to the hardness of the world. A truly angelic presence in 2026. Number 4. J-Hope Mom. The eternal sunshine, the muse of the masterpiece, the pillar of sacrifice, a beauty of radiant resilience. We have reached the bridge between the earthly and the divine, landing firmly at number 4. A spot reserved for a woman whose beauty is not just seen, but times felt, times as a physical wave of warmth and energy. We are stepping into the radiant orbit of the woman who gave birth to the sun itself, the mother of J-Hope. If you have ever basked in the glow of Jung Ho-seok's smile and felt your worries melt away, you have this incredible woman to thank. For she is the original source of that blinding, life-affirming light. In the landscape of 2026, where J-Hope stands as a global titan of dance, fashion, and music, his mother emerges as the fashionista matriarch, a woman whose visual appeal is amplified by a backstory, so moving it has literally been immortalized in song. Why does she command the number 4 spot? Because her beauty is triumphant. It is the face of a woman who sacrificed everything and is now reaping the harvest of her love. Imagine the scene in 2026. The streets of Gwangju or the high fashion districts of Paris during Fashion Week. A woman steps out, clad in an avant-garde ensemble that would make a supermodel jealous, perhaps a mix of bold streetwear and high-end luxury, styled with an effortless cool that screams Jung DNA. This is J-Hope's mom. She possesses the Gwangju glow, a vibrancy that defies her age. Her features are the feminine blueprint of Hobies, that high, aristocratic bridge of the nose, the sharp, defined cheekbones that catch the light perfectly, and most importantly, the mouth. When she smiles, it is not just a movement of muscles, it is a sunrise. It is that famous heart smile in its maternal form, generous, wide, and capable of healing the soul. In 2026, she is the epitome of joyful aging. She doesn't hide the passage of time, she decorates it. Her skin is luminous, likely the result of a skincare routine funded by a son who wants to give her the world, but the real glow comes from within. We cannot talk about her beauty without diving into the edutainment history that makes her legendary. This is the woman referenced in the soul-stirring track, Mama. This is the woman who worked away from home, who crunched the numbers and made the hard choices to support her son's dancing dreams when the world was uncertain. That history of resilience adds a layer of heroic beauty to her face. When you look at her in 2026, you don't just see a pretty woman, you see a warrior who won. You see the strength that held the family together. This emotional depth makes her physical features pop with a gravity that superficial beauty lacks. She carries herself with a queen of dance aura, a rhythmic grace in her walk that suggests she too feels the beat of life just like her son. In 2026, as J-Hope continues to push the boundaries of art, His mother stands as his ultimate muse and his biggest cheerleader. There is a playfulness to her beauty. Anecdotes suggest she has a wit and a zest for life that rivals Hobie's. She is the cool mom, who knows the trends, who understands the swag, and who can probably critique a choreography video with expert precision. Her style is likely bold, bright colors, unique textures, statement accessories reflecting a personality that refuses to be dull. She represents the beauty of vitality. In a world that often tells women to fade into the background as they age, J-Hope's mom wears neon. She stands tall. She laughs loud. She is the visual proof that happiness is the ultimate cosmetic. Seeing her side by side with J-Hope in 2026 is like looking at two beaming lighthouses. They share that same infectious energy that draws people in. Her ranking at number 4 is a testament to the power of positive energy manifesting as physical beauty. She is the golden hour in human form. She reminds us that the most beautiful women are the ones who supported dreams, who loved fiercely, and who now wear their happiness like a crown. She is the Gwangju goddess who taught the world to hope, and in 2026, she is shining brighter than ever, a true vision of radiant, successful, and deeply loving motherhood. Number 3. Jin Mom. The genesis of worldwide handsome, the aristocratic aura, the unconfirmed Miss Korea, a beauty that defies logic. Ladies and gentlemen, we have entered the top 3. We are now in the podium territory, the danger zone of visuals where the air gets thinner and the beauty becomes blindingly intense. Skipping straight into the bronze medal position, we find the woman responsible for the face that has been scientifically proven to be perfect. We are talking about the matriarch of the Kim clan, the mother of the man who dubbed himself worldwide handsome, and the world just nodded in agreement. Meet Jin's mother. If you thought Seokjin's confidence was purely his own invention, you are mistaken. In 2026, looking at his mother is like looking into the mirror of the future. She is the living, breathing proof that the Kim visuals are not a fluke, but a dynasty. Why does she take the number 3 spot, leaping ahead of so many incredible women? Because her beauty is royal. It is the kind of beauty that doesn't just ask for attention, it commands obedience. Imagine the scene in 2026, a high-profile private charity gala in the heart of Cheongdam-dong. The paparazzi are kept at bay, but whispers ripple through the crowd. A woman steps out of a sleek black luxury sedan. She isn't wearing the flashy logos of the new rich. She is draped in bespoke silk, perhaps a deep emerald green or a royal navy that contrasts stunningly with her alabaster skin. This is Jin's mom. At this stage in her life, she should legally be aging, but instead, she seems to have made a pact with time. The rumors that have swirled for over a decade, was she a Miss Korea contestant? Was she a model? Feel less like rumors and more like obvious historical facts when you see her profile. She possesses that classic, harmonious facial structure that plastic surgeons use as a reference guide. The golden ratio that Jin is famous for? He inherited the blueprint from her. Her eyes are large, expressive, and carry a spark of intelligent mischief, the same spark we see when Jin is about to crack a dad joke or break a rule on a variety show. But in her, it is tempered with a matriarchal dignity. In 2026, her beauty is characterized by opulent simplicity. She has the rich mom energy that K-drama directors try to cast, but rarely capture perfectly. It is in the way she holds her champagne glass, the way she tilts her head when listening a gesture we have seen Jin mimic unconsciously 1,000 times. Let's talk about the worldwide handsome legacy. For years, Jin joked about his looks, but as he matured into his 30s, that handsomeness became sharper, more refined. Looking at his mother, we see the source of that refinement. She has the same plush, heart-shaped lips that have driven fans crazy for years. Her jawline, even now, is soft yet defined, framing a face that radiates health and vitality. Fans who have been lucky enough to see the rare, blurry photos of her from the past knew she was a stunner, but the 2026 version of her is a masterpiece of self-care and grace. She represents the Gangnam Queen aesthetic, flawless skin that looks like it has never seen a day of stress, hair that is always perfectly coiffed, and an aura that says, "I raised a king, and I am the Queen Mother." But this edutainment deep dive wouldn't be complete without touching on her personality, which shines through her visuals. We know Jin as the caring, cooking, sometimes nagging eldest brother. Where did he learn that? From a mother who reportedly spoke to her sons in respectful, formal language to teach them manners, yet doted on them with the ferocity of a lioness. That duality, strict elegance mixed with overwhelming love, is written on her face. When she smiles, it's a warm, enveloping expression that breaks the Ice Queen first impression instantly. It is the smile of a woman who knows she has done a spectacular job. In 2026, with Jin likely taking on more executive or senior mentorship roles within the industry, his mother stands as his advisor, his rock, and his visual twin. There is a hilarious and touching reality to their dynamic. Imagine the worldwide handsome son standing next to his mother, and for a split second, realizing he might be the second times best-looking person in the frame. That is the power of Mom Kim. Her ranking at number 3 is a nod to the classic standard. While trends come and go, cat eyes, fox eyes, puppy eyes, her beauty is the textbook definition of Korean excellence. It is symmetrical, it is poised, and it is intimidatingly perfect. She is the visual anchor. If BTS is a storm of talent, she is the calm, beautiful sea that birthed the biggest wave. She proves that while Jin's dad might have given him the CEO vibes, it was his mom who gave him the face that launched 1 million merchandise sales. In 2026, she remains a mystery to many, a legend to most, but an undeniable visual powerhouse to all. She is the timeless beauty who teaches us that elegance is the only thing that never fades. She is the bronze medalist of beauty, but in the hearts of those who value the classic, regal aesthetic, she is the golden standard. Number 2. V-Mom. The muse behind the masterpiece, the secret garden of visuals, the origin of the mood, a beauty that transcends dimensions. We have arrived at the penultimate moment, the silver medalist of this illustrious countdown, and the atmosphere in the room has just shifted from royal to something almost spiritual, something undeniably artistic. Number 2 belongs to the woman who holds the other half of the genetic code for the face that has been declared the most handsome in the world more times than we can count. We are standing in the presence of the ethereal, the mysterious, the breathtaking mother of Kim Taehyung, simply known to the world as V. If Jin's mother is the queen of the palace, V's mother is the goddess of the forest, a beauty that is wilder, more soulful, and draped in a layer of enchanting mystery that captivates you instantly. In 2026, V is not just an idol, he is a cultural icon, a man whose face is recognized in every corner of the globe, from the fashion runways of Paris to the jazz bars of New York. But when you peel back the layers of CGV, computer-generated V, you find the soft, human touch of his mother. Why does she command the number 2 spot, standing tantalizingly close to the crown? Because her beauty is atmospheric. It is the kind of beauty that tells a story without saying a word. Imagine the scene in 2026. It is a misty morning in Jeon, or perhaps a private art gallery opening in London. A woman stands by a window, bathed in soft light. She is wearing a trench coat, a vintage scarf, loosely tied a style that her son has famously adopted and perfected. This is Mrs. Kim. While V famously posted a photo of his father crediting him for his looks, insiders and those with a keen eye for genetics know that the depth times of V's beauty, that melancholic, romantic gaze, that ability to shift from a boxy smile to a smoldering stare comes from his mother. In 2026, she is the epitome of bohemian luxury. She doesn't follow trends, she sets the mood. Her skin is likely a canvas of warmth, glowing with a natural radiance that speaks of a life lived with passion. We talk about V's nose, that impossible high bridge, but look at his mother's profile. It's there. The sharpness is softened by a maternal grace, but the architecture is undeniable. She possesses the T-zone of legend. But what makes her beauty so overwhelming is the eyes. V's eyes are often described as containing the universe. His mother's eyes are the galaxy that birthed that universe. They are large, expressive, and brimming with an emotional intelligence that can bring you to tears. In 2026, her presence is a masterclass in unintentional allure. She doesn't try to be beautiful, she just times is asterisk. There is a carefree, whimsical quality to her, a winter bear warmth that makes her instantly lovable. We know V as the social butterfly, the man who makes friends with everyone from elderly waiters to global pop stars. That openness, that lack of pretension, that is the spirit of his mother. She taught him that true beauty lies in connection, in kindness, and in being unapologetically yourself. In the narrative of 2026, she is likely the cool, artistic mom who listens to jazz records with her son, discussing the nuances of a trumpet solo while looking effortlessly chic in house clothes. She represents the artistic muse. She is the kind of woman who would look just as at home in a 1920s jazz club as she does in a modern soul penthouse. Her beauty is timeless because it is not based on perfection, it is based on character. It is the singularity of beauty, unique, distinct, and impossible to replicate. Let's dig into the edutainment of her ranking. Why number 2? Because her visual impact is transformative. When you see her, you understand why V is V. You understand that his eccentricities, his fashion risks, his love for the vintage and the strange, it's all rooted in a home environment that celebrated individuality. She is the root of the purple love. I purple you is a phrase that changed the world, representing trust and long-lasting love. V's mom is the physical embodiment of that color, a blend of the calm stability of blue and the fierce energy of red. She is the balance. In 2026, as V navigates his 30 seconds with a maturity that is both sexy and sweet, his mother's influence shines brighter than ever. She has aged like a rare vintage wine, gaining complexity and richness with every passing year. She doesn't fight the years, she wears them like jewelry. There is a specific Jeon beauty about her, a rustic, honest charm that has been polished by the exposure to her son's global life, resulting in a unique hybrid of humility and high-class aura. When she smiles, really smiles, you see the boxy smile in its original form. It is a smile that reaches the eyes, crinkling the corners in a way that screams pure happiness. That smile is her superpower. It disarms you. It makes you want to protect her, just as much as she protected her children. In the fierce competition of this list, she takes the silver because her beauty is the most times emotional asterisk. It hits you in the heart. It's not just wow, she's pretty. It's wow, she feels like a warm memory. She is the nostalgia of a first love and the comfort of a forever home rolled into one. She is the muse who whispered to the wind, creating a son who would go on to charm the world. In 2026, standing tall, elegant, and filled with the quiet pride of a mother who raised a masterpiece, V's mom is a visual phenomenon that leaves us breathless, reminding us that the most beautiful things in the world are often the most unique. She is the unexpected, the whimsical, and the profoundly beautiful number 2. Number 1. Jungkook mom. The golden origin, the ageless vampire queen, the mythical sportswoman, the ultimate visual triumph. Ladies and gentlemen, armies and citizens of the world, we have arrived. This is it, the summit, the peak, the absolute zenith of our countdown. We have traversed the landscape of elegance, intellect, royalty, and atmosphere, but number 1 is reserved for a phenomenon that defies science, defies time, and defies logic. We are talking about the woman who birthed the golden maknae. We are talking about the matriarch of the Jeon dynasty. Prepare your eyes and guard your hearts, because number 1 is none other than Jungkook's mother. In the year 2026, where the definition of beauty has evolved into a blend of vitality, youthfulness, and charisma, she stands unrivaled, the undisputed queen of visuals. Why? Because she is the living, breathing, curious case of Benjamin Button. If you thought Jungkook was the only one with the golden touch, you were wrong. He is merely the reflection, she is the sun. Let's set the scene for the grand reveal in 2026. Picture the biggest stadium in the world, perhaps Wembley or the Seoul World Cup Stadium packed with 100,000 screaming fans. The camera pans to the VIP box. We see the other mothers, elegant and regal, and then the lens focuses on a woman who looks shockingly like she could be Jungkook's older sister. A collective gasp ripples through the internet. Is that? Yes, it is. Even in 2026, well into her golden years, Mrs. Jeon possesses a vitality that is frankly terrifying. She is the vampire beauty of the group. While others age gracefully, she seems to have stopped aging altogether somewhere in 2010. Her skin is not just smooth, it is athletic, glowing with the flush of health that comes from a life of activity and boundless energy. This is the woman who chased down Jungkook's father because, in her own words, he was handsome. That legendary assertiveness, that go-getter spirit, He burns bright in her eyes that are the exact sparkling replica of the doe-eyed gaze that Jungkook used to conquer the world. When you look at her, you don't see a fragile elder, you see a powerhouse. You see the source of the bunny smile, the origin of the nose scrunch, and the blueprint for that duality of fierce intensity and adorable playfulness. In 2026, her beauty is defined by dynamic radiance. She is likely the fittest mom on this list. We know the Jeon family DNA is steeped in athleticism and art. Imagine her in a chic, high-end sporty ensemble, perhaps a luxury athleisure brand that fits her toned physique perfectly. She radiates power. It's not the quiet power of a library, it's the kinetic power of a sprinter on the starting block. This physical vitality translates into a beauty that feels alive, urgent, and incredibly modern. She represents the new age of matriarchy, where being a mom doesn't mean retiring to the background, it means keeping up with the superstar son step for step. The edutainment value here is off the charts because her story breaks all stereotypes. She isn't just the nurturer, she is the spark. We have to talk about the golden gene. Jungkook excels at singing, dancing, painting, filming, boxing, and cooking. Where did that voracious appetite for life come from? It came from a mother who taught him that passion is the ultimate beauty secret. In 2026, her face tells the story of that passion. There are laugh lines, sure, but they are etched by decades of boisterous family laughter, likely provoked by the chaotic humor of her two sons. Her hair is voluminous, perhaps styled in a trendy, youthful cut that frames a face that refuses to sag. She has the Busan edge, a directness in her features that commands attention. But let's get emotional for a moment. Being the mother of the youngest, the baby of BTS, came with a unique set of heartbreaks and triumphs. She sent her teenage son to Seoul alone, trusting him to a world that could be cruel. The strength it took to let go, to allow her baby to become a giant, is the core of her beauty. In 2026, when she looks at Jungkook now, a fully grown man, perhaps with more tattoos, a heavier aura of superstardom, and the weight of the industry on his shoulders, her expression is a mix of fierce protection and overwhelming pride. That look is the most beautiful thing in the world. It is the look of a job well done. It is the look of a creator admiring her masterpiece. We often joke that Jungkook is good at everything, but looking at his mom, we realize he had a cheat code. He had a mother who embodied excellence. She is the original golden girl. Her ranking at number 1 is not just about physical features, though hers are stunning: the round, youthful face shape, the sharp, witty eyes, the infectious smile. It is about the vibe. She has the energy of a main character. In a documentary of their lives, she wouldn't be the background extra. She would be the scene stealer. Imagine a variety show segment in 2026 where the members call their moms. The others might be sentimental or shy. Jungkook's mom? She's likely cracking a joke, teasing him about his latest hairstyle, or challenging him to a push-up contest. That spirit makes her infinitely attractive. She is the cool mom on steroids. She is the mom every fan wishes they could hang out with, not just to get to Jungkook, but because she seems genuinely fun. Her beauty is approachable, yet aspirational. It says, you can have it all: the family, the fun, and the face that never quits. She wins number 1 because she represents the ultimate victory against time. She proves that passion is the best anti-aging cream. She proves that confidence, the kind that makes you approach a handsome man and claim him as your destiny, is the most attractive quality a woman can possess. In the hierarchy of BTS mothers, she is the wild card that became the ace. She is the visual shock, the genetic miracle, and the beating heart of the Golden Maknae's legacy. In 2026, standing beside her son, she might be mistaken for his sister, his friend, or his peer, but to the world, she is simply the queen. The most beautiful, the number 1, Mrs. Jeon, the Golden Mother, takes the crown, and the world can only bow in awe of such genetic perfection.